Alright, guys, so we are back with the Moxies. And I just want to know, I love your stories. I just want to know a couple more stories from, what did you call it? The pineapple? Can, can we can we say that?
Okay, so it's Moxie's.
We don't know. We like pineapple. We got ideas. We'll let you know.
So it's Moxie's.
But no. Don't tell me the name. But
Okay.
pineapple refers to swingers.
Yeah, pineapple usually refers to swingers.
So tell me a couple pineapple stories.
There you go.
Okay.
That's you.
What was it now? You told this story last time to people. We were at a house party that we like to frequent, and there are some couples there that we've been romancing for a while now, and both of the wives are actually into women, and so that's nice because, in my experience, there isn't a lot of hunger or attraction between the women that I've had experiences with. They're just seem to.
Are you into women?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But then they are doing it, I think, sometimes just to be looking cute. And these women aren't like that. They actually enjoy playing in a woman's body and touching it and finding spots. So that was fun. I don't remember the details of how it started. Roger probably is going to have to go there
So we walked
for
into
that. But it gets good.
we walked into the party, and I mean we didn't even have a chance. As soon as we walked in through the door, the husband threw his hands up in the air and he called me Chad because I was wearing like kind of like a costume jacket, and it was very sparkly. So he called me Chad, and he came over and he pulled us over, and all of a sudden the women are like,
Oh, I think I was trying to eat. I was eating a hot dog. They have
Yeah.
they have like a counter set up, and I never eat when I go, but I was
You're
hungry.
eating the glitzy?
So I started eating. I had a drink, and I was like, oh, I'm so hungry. Nachos, hot dogs. So I started like eating. I'm like dancing, right? And then I get like surrounded by people. I'm like, oh, hey. And I take a bite. I'm like, what's up? What's up? And I had food in my
Yeah.
mouth, and she starts making out with me. And I was like, you nasty bitch. But I liked it because she was a nasty bitch. So it just,
Yeah.
I don't remember what happened to the hot dog, but I ended up,
Did your
making out with them.
Did your glizzy end up in her mouth?
pretty much
it was interesting.
pieces of it. At
Sure,
least.
I'm sure. And so I don't know what happened. Somebody was on their knees below me doing things
So
to my lower
it
half, and then
ended
she
up
was making out with me up top, and then
it ended up 3 women in total.
the
on
two that I'm really into that we haven't slept
on the
with yet,
dance
we just
floor.
keep flirting and chasing each other because it's not working out.
They attacked you?
And I mean, man, the
I was
husbands, we
upside
were
down
just standing
on my spine, like just
flipped
flat,
over,
and then
knees behind her head,
just like folded over.
ass
And
up in the
I
air.
could see what's happening to me up there, and I was just like watching fingers and watching faces, and just like, oh, that's interesting. That feels good.
And then she squirt.
Where's the reenactment?
Oh, then it went, and like when I squirted because of the angle, I hadn't thought this through. It rained on myself. There was a jacuzzi there, so I was able to rinse off afterwards.
In the jacuzzi.
In the jizz-filled jacuzzi with all the little floaters. It's nice. Don't get pregnant.
It didn't go in your mouth, did it?
If it did, it was sanitized
Sometimes.
jizz.
I just seen the movie. I don't remember what it is, but the guy was upside down, and he had to go. So they're
Is it a
like
horror
just.
movie where they torture people? Because I don't like that stuff. It makes me sick.
It was a funny one though.
No.
That was a funny one. And he had to relieve himself, and he's like,
peed
it
on
was- yeah, down his mouth.
I mean, a little bit of pee is okay.
It was a funny torture one.
I don't like it.
But okay. So wow, interesting. Okay.
I like the other things though. I like squirting on myself on accident because it was for sexual pleasure. That
Well, he didn't think it through either. He just let it go and then went
Yeah.
into his mouth.
that's true.
That's why I thought of it.
I didn't drink my own. No, I don't know if anyone else got a taste, but if they did, that was their own fault, and they had it coming.
Well, later on, that night, we ended up in a room with them.
Was it the room in the front, or was this the,
The
other
room-
time we
the
were out
room-
in the
the room
backyard
in
in
the
a little?
The room in the front
We did.
with the rubber padding for accidents or whatever.
Yeah, there was like a mat on it.
And the funny thing was we didn't have sex, but
We just play sometimes other ways. There's so
But-
much.
oh my God, there was like hands everywhere, squirting.
So that stuff will be covered in the podcast, because what's an orgy? That's a
Okay,
whole different thing.
okay.
What's a gang thing? That's different, right?
Okay,
Everything
yeah.
is different. That's why
So
porn has so many categories.
let me ask you this: how did you get into this, Roger? I don't think I've asked him.
Oh,
How
so
how you get into this?
mine was a previous marriage, uh, my ex-wife actually, and my best friend. Um, my best friend started kind of. The thing was that his wife was very promiscuous, so she was always kind of flirting with you, anyways. So he kind of said, "Fuck it, why not? Let's give it a try," and kind of convinced me and my wife into it, and we went for a ride, and it was the beginning of it, and we didn't know what we were doing, so we were stepping over each other's toes and pissing each other off, and ended up learning the hard way that you got to be able to have communication, and more importantly than communication is understanding. So we just I just with when I mentioned it to her and I told her, yeah, I used to swing, and I basically put it down how it was, this I did it wrong, and it destroyed my marriage, and so just by hearing that, obviously curiosity killed the cat, but
Cat's still alive.
So
cat's still alive.
so when you first did it, it was bad, a disaster.
Yeah, it was
How
horrible.
many times did you do it?
Horrible. We probably did it like maybe 4 or 5 times before we were like, that's it, we're never doing this again.
Okay.
And it wasn't necessarily her choice. It was my choice because I was.
So the first 2 times
Yeah.
that was a disaster, you guys didn't say
It
just
just
give up.
wasn't right. It wasn't right. It wasn't the right person. It wasn't the right person I was with to do this, and that's what.
Was she popular when she went to these parties? Because
Um,
I've been to a party and usually the girl has no problem getting the guys.
Yeah. I
Basically.
mean, that's typically how it is in these swinger parties. Uh, we use our wives, hot wives,
Beautiful husbands.
to bait other couples,
I like to think it's my charm.
in hopes that you would think that that's how it is, but it's not really like that.
It's her both charms.
I don't know. I type from behind the computer.
It's both her charms.
It's all about the vibe. Like there isn't like you have your couples that been around for a long time, and I mean,
You'll find your energies.
yeah.
You'll find the energy that matches with you. There's a group over here with this energy.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, like when you're in school, you want to party with these people because they're super fun, and then you want to relax with those people because they're chill. And then, so it depends on what mood you're in for the night because you make friends with everybody, and then you've got whatever mood you're in, you can match up with those people for the night.
Yeah, and there's a variety of women there. I mean, yeah, you have the super hot one, but that doesn't always mean that that's going to be the most fun that you're going to
Yeah.
have.
We've been really surprised by people.
I learned that that it's not always the pretty beautiful thing that walks in that catches everybody's attention. It's like really
She might be the dead fish.
yeah. Thank you. I
Call it
was
starfish in it. And it's like,
trying to put that in a nice way, but yeah, you have entitled. They feel entitled because they're hot.
I think that they should be able to feel entitled because if that's their fantasy when they're out that night and they want to be catered to like a queen, then that's their prerogative. And maybe the man who wants to cater to the queen can go fuck the starfish and he's really happy.
And
about
this
it.
is and
Good
this
point.
is this is where you
There is
have
beauty everywhere.
you have two compatibilities that have two different choices of how.
Because
they
we've
like
been with
their women.
starfishes, and
Yeah.
then I actually
I
was
don't
still
like
attracted to the starfish.
She hasn't been with a dead
Surprised.
fish, that's why.
No, yeah, she has.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I mean,
Because
either they're really bad or I'm
as
just
a
really
guy, we're with a dead fish, our thing doesn't go up.
Well, you can look at things and
I don't know.
think about what you want to do.
I mean,
No. To me, like,
you kind of get to a point where you're like, okay, this is what it is. I'm all right then.
Make it work. We'll work with
it. Work. But I mean, she's been with guys that have like talked the game You know, oh yeah, you know, I'm dominant. I'm this. I'm that. I'm so, and they get together with her, and all of a sudden it's they're having issues. They're having trouble. You know, because
It's just not compatible. It's okay.
it's not it's not there. You know, and when it's not there,
I don't lie about it.
she doesn't. She's she's brutally honest.
So that's where I'm not so great, because they might have talked a big game and not shown up and done the deed, but then I let them know loudly about it, so that's not very nice
Yeah.
either. We're learning.
So we're
there's like a
learning.
lot, even that stuff we're going to talk about on the podcast, how to be,
Yeah.
how to have good etiquette,
Etiquette.
because that's a big deal, and that'll make
There
or
it
break
is.
your time, because once you get a name for yourself, you're just kind of like, you're stuck with it for a while.
There really is.
There are only so many parties per month,
Yeah.
so take your opportunities and make the most of them. But we'll talk about more of that on the podcast.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to the podcast. How was your guys' first time at this?
We met
Club.
with a couple in a hotel.
So how was that first time?
That was,
Was
the one
it
up there off the mountain
Actually,
pass. Right?
was
actually,
it
no.
different as the first time you went with the other
Or
couple?
was it at
Our
the
first
party?
time. Our first time was at
I
the
don't
pool
remember.
party.
The pool, was it the pool party?
It was the pool
That
party.
was a disappointment.
No, actually, we had a lot of fun. So it was at the pool party.
This happens a lot.
It was
Let me ask you this, because you mentioned the other person was the wrong person. What made her the right person? That's why I asked.
what made her the right person? Oh man, like
at your first?
could go forever on that one.
Well, just give me a little bit. The rest you could be on your podcast.
She has hunger. She has loyalty. She has, I mean, her spectrum of a good woman it varies. You
You
know,
can wear many hats.
she can wear many hats.
I'm like a chameleon. We just
And
blend.
whatever the night calls for, whatever, you know, she's adaptable to it, and she's able to put on that hat and become the whore.
I also am with a person who makes me feel safe enough
beautiful.
to be that whore,
Yeah.
and makes me feel very attractive and sexy being that whore, or slut, or whatever it is I want to be for the night. So there's a freedom that was given. We met each other as sex addicts who were with people who shamed us.
Yeah.
And when we were finally with somebody who didn't make us feel ashamed for the things we liked, we were able to explore more of what we liked and be supported in it. And that gives you safety. And with the safety comes, you know, confidence, self-esteem. You're able to step out of your comfort zone more, because if you fail, there's someone to catch you.
Yeah.
So going into a party with somebody all the time instead of a single person, no one likes to show up to a party by themselves, as it is. And even as a woman who's attractive and might think they have it all going, it's intimidating. So
Yeah.
to go with somebody that I know will still be there and be my friend, and at the end of the night I still have somebody to play with, and you know, to make me feel attractive and cater to me still, it's nice. And then everything else is just icing on the cake. It's all the extra. So we wanted to swing because we enjoy more. We understood that, you know, the things that we enjoy and like and want to try can't be provided by one another 100%. You know, if I like women, he's never going to be a woman. How is he going to feed me that way? So we've understood with swinging, you're able to incorporate different things in your sex life to make your partner happy. Or try. You can try your best. Be true to yourself.
That being said, you guys are a couple. You guys go as a couple. She gets attention. I don't know, you as a guy, do you get attention? But does she make sure that you get hooked up?
Oh yeah.
We
I
try,
mean,
but
or
they're
do
not
you
very.
or do you get hooked
So-
up because you're attractive or what?
so like to the specific to the parties that we go to, you know, you'll hear this terminology thrown around a lot in the swinger community, that it's cliquey. That a lot of
I've
people
only ever heard him say that.
that a lot of people are placed in groups, right? And to a certain point, it's kind of true. But once you meet a person in the group, you're kind of incorporated as like family.
It's a lot like high school.
Yeah,
If you're
it's crazy.
some people jived with 5 groups, and some had to stick with their one group because they didn't like everybody else,
Yeah,
or maybe everybody else didn't like them, and that's okay. It's a lot like when you go to high school. It's in any other party you go to a baby shower, and there's always the group of women that want to talk about house stuff over there, and then there's a group of women talking about babies and rearing, and then there's, right, everyone's got their own preference. So it's the same with these clubs. There are usually a lot of people. You're not going to be lonely, and if you are, you're the problem. You are the problem. probably leave. And people will let you know if they're not comfortable
Oh,
having
yeah.
you. Like, people will communicate. They'll let you know that you're not as
Yeah,
welcome
like
into
I
the
can't
group
just
or-
go up to any woman and be like, "Hey, what's up? Can I squeeze those?" It doesn't work that way, you know.
And then by extension, if one of our friends' husbands is with me and his wife, and Roger's around the corner or using the restroom or doing something, whoever takes on the people, we all become responsible for one another.
For the women,
and the
So
men, you
it's-
know, and
yeah.
yeah.
the women become responsible for the women, and the, you know, and vice versa. And it's nice because she didn't know, but there was a guy. We were at a party, and there was a guy that reached over one of the guys' shoulders to grab her boob. And as soon as that hand came over, he was like, "What up?"
Yeah, one of our friends, we were like making a circle at this winery
Yeah.
place, and we were all getting a little crazy in the middle. Because
Yeah.
and the guys kind of formed a barricade on the outside because it was kind of a public, you know, regular
Yeah,
venue,
you know,
but it was known for being
At the
catering
s-
to swingers.
Yeah. Yeah. At the same time, we wanted to be a little bit more, you know, let the women
Be liberated.
do what the women want to do, but at the same time, we protect them.
Yeah.
And every man in there is the same way. So
it's not
kinda,
as dirty
it's
and
kinda cool.
unsafe and crazy as people think it is.
Yeah.
It's pretty beautiful.
You form some beautiful friendships.
Yeah, people think it's a little bit on the dirty side.
Of course
Yeah.
it can be.
I
That's
read
what
some
you want.
comments.
Well, yeah.
No, but the
It's dirty,
Up here.
you know, behind closed doors. It's not like
My
like,
child sneezes in my face.
like we're not.
On the regular.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're not out. We're,
to every
we're
now
not
and
out in the
again
public.
take a shot on the face and get a little cum in my eye. Like, I'd rather, you know what I mean, that one time, maybe twice a year it happens, as opposed to a few times a week my kid's sneezing on my face. You know, and I clean houses, so I'm like scrubbing poop. It's just nurses, like we're gonna
I need my house clean.
pick and choose what fluids and what things we are and aren't okay with. The bacteria is bacteria. So
Yeah.
have fun. Choose which way you want to ingest it or
Pick your
release it.
poison.
Wham.
Okay,
Suck the
okay.
dick.
Hey, this is YouTube. All right, guys. Thank you for that interview.
Yeah.
Thank
No
you.
problem.
All right.